everybody.
Welcome back.
It's the Chill Spot Podcast.
We're back for another hour or so, or sometimes an hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
Sometimes 2 hours, depending on how heated things get.
You know, just depending on how much Sam and I really want to fucking get into it.
Depending on how deep into it we really get.
So Sam, how was your week? What's up with you?
It's been really good. Productive and stuff.
It has been a very productive week.
Yeah, I did something really nice the other day. Actually, I had a Zoom talk with my cousin that I don't get.
Oh,
to
that's
talk
right.
to
You connected with some family.
a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt good. It felt good.
Yeah,
Well, it's also like cousins are such a weird relation to you.
I agree.
Like, they're not an authority figure, but like sometimes they are, depending on the age, and like they have such a similar perspective as you on family, you know? Like, if you can get in a room with just your cousins, no aunts, uncles, or grandparents or parents or anything like that, and just like talk shit about your family, you will be amazed
At the things you'll discover.
the things
yeah.
that you'll discover, and the things that you're not alone in thinking, you
Totally.
know, that like that weird habit that your aunt has that like you don't understand, or like some like phrase that your grandma always says that you think is really funny, like they probably think it's funny too. And it was just nice to like sit and have that kind of conversation. I have that with like one of my cousins on my mom's side because we're the same age, so like it's really fun to just like talk to her and stuff. But a lot of my cousins on my dad's side, there's an age disparity. Like there's like a little cluster of people who were like all the same age and they like grew up together, and it's like, it's not like you can't talk to them. It's not like there's like cliques in my family, but you know, like they just have a little bit more of a repartee than other people do, and I don't have that. So like she kind of told me that she felt the same way. She's like, I don't really have anybody who's the same age as me either, like these other cousins do. And I was like, yeah, I totally get that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. Like
Yeah.
all of my cousins are like significantly older than I am.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean like you're gonna listen to this and be like, we're not
No,
old.
they're like 5 years older than you.
but that is a like, now it doesn't so much matter anymore because we're all in our 20s, 30s, whatever.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter. But like growing up, you know, when I was really young, I'd hang out with my cousins and it would be fun. But as they grew, like what 17-year-old wants to hang out with a 12-year-old?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And like I don't blame them
Exactly.
for that. Like whatever.
What do you have to talk about?
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
So I beat Luigi's Mansion for the third time today.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, Cameron, I want to smoke weed and kiss girls. But one of my favorite parts about growing up as a whole, and as a matter of fact, we also have to start our timer. We didn't start the timer.
Oh, it's all the way over there. Okay, pause. Hold up.
Pause. Yeah, whatever. One of my favorite parts of growing up actually has been learning my family's real opinions of each other.
Yeah, that's the best.
It's interesting.
When you're grown, you can talk about the grown folk stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just funny how you like families are really just like friend groups.
Oh my god.
It's
almost worse.
almost worse because
Yeah.
some people, because you don't get to pick your family.
Yeah. You just have to deal with
Your biological family.
You just have to
anyway.
deal with. I mean, like, you can choose. I will say, like, you can choose to have your family in your life, or like what you will and won't put up with. Like, you certainly don't have to tolerate shitty behavior. But we're talking about like the little quirks, or you know, like if there otherwise isn't like, you know, abusive behavior going on, you have to tolerate your family.
Yeah,
and
typically
like some of the
speaking.
shitty shit that they perpetuate.
And we all have that one cousin who takes like slightly too big dumps in the toilet or something.
Yeah,
You know, or that one cousin who has like a third hot dog when like someone's only had one, and like, you know what I mean? Like
they always do that. They're like every time your dad is like, who wants another hot dog? Like this cousin who's already had two is like, I do.
yeah,
And it's like,
dog me up, Tommy.
some people haven't had two yet.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, and and then you look at them and you're just like, it's cause Aunt Bonnie raised her to be selfish because she's a selfish little bitch too.
That's how it always
Apple
goes.
doesn't fall far from the tree in that family, let me tell ya. And you're like, oh shit, cousin Bethany.
Whoa, Bethany, haha.
Spill that tea, sis.
Fuck you, Bonnie. Nobody even likes you.
We all hate Bonnie.
Yeah, but 20 years ago, we all thought you were gay, and that was a problem or something. Because like 20 years ago, like
Yeah.
it was like, you know, but
Yeah.
now it's not a problem.
And then she had a kid, and you were like, oh, she's just a bitch.
It's like,
God, I wish I could just go back to thinking you were gay. Now you're just a bitch.
Oh yeah, but isn't that always how it goes though with family? Or it's like it's never like family drama is it's one of two things, and it's like binary. It's like this or the other thing, right?
Yeah, it's like it's like innocuous or it's like serious.
Exactly. It's either oh, you took an extra scooping of auntie's fucking cheese potatoes.
Yeah.
When like she herself hasn't had any.
Yeah.
Or you're a crippling alcoholic. And it's ruining your family.
Yeah.
And like your relationship to everyone around you. Yeah. It's one or the other. And there's no
in between.
No middle ground.
There's no in between. It's
there's no one person who's like had like an extra handful of chips but then also smokes too much weed. It's like
you're either like the racist cousin or you take a little bit extra of everything and it's really annoying.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
But Sam, you and I were expunging on some thoughts earlier today.
Yeah.
We were thinking about how you and I as individuals are broke ass 20-year-olds.
Oh, so broke.
And we don't have any goddamn money at all.
I spent $40 at Walmart yesterday and I felt terrible.
Yeah.
I felt terrible.
Oh,
it was stuff that I needed.
That's why you didn't say you had any money yesterday. When I was like, you want to get a coffee? And you're like, I just
spent $40 at Walmart, man. I'm all balled out for the day.
But you and I, in terms of our personal finances, are very careful. We're not like penny pinching. We're not like cheap. But we are like
frugal.
We're smart spenders. We're frugal. Because we have to be. We don't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. I'm just a widow baby.
That being said, if tomorrow you woke up with $1 billion, like how do you think you'd react?
I would be I would be suspicious. Like, okay, like if you're, okay, obvious human reactions aside, like, I would feel extremely weighted down. I'd be like, oh my God, like this is such a huge, I have to invest this. And this is the thing, right?
I see.
People always say, if you win the lottery, like don't ball out and like do everything you've always wanted to do because the money is gone before you know it.
Get steady.
So invest. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, I'll do that if I ever come into $3 billion. But then I think about it and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean, invest? Invest in what? Should I buy stocks in Hermes like Michael B. Jordan did for Lori Harvey? Or like, or do I just like stick with like Franklin Templeton like I have been since my mommy set up my savings fund for me when I was a baby.
You don't have to do your own investments.
Franklin Templeton is a low risk investor, by the way. Like it's like baby investments.
I mean, if you want,
I get like 1 cent every quarter.
If you want a real answer, like what I would personally do in your situation, in terms of like if you're confused about what to invest in, is just like talk to a financial advisor.
Yeah.
Right? And then split up some of your money. Like obviously you're going to keep some of your money for yourself.
Yeah.
But then like split up some of money into high, medium, and low risk investment accounts.
Right.
And then there you go. Let the machine turn.
Let them do it for you.
Because well, actually, first thing, like in terms of while we're on the topic of like logical things we do with $1 billion, like I'd 100% hire a financial advisor. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Keep them keep them around. Be like, listen, I just the other day I would make $14,000 a year, which way below the poverty line.
Yeah.
Now I got more than that by a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do.
I made like 150 times that in a matter of minutes.
Do you think that I could afford a PlayStation 5? You could afford a few PlayStation 5s.
But can you get a PlayStation 5? That's the real question.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother fucking issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, but what, okay, so like, literally speaking, like, fuck anxiety, fuck the real. Mm-hmm. You wake up tomorrow and you open up your Scotiabank app and there's $1 billion in there. Mm-hmm. And like, for the sake of this hypothetical, it's like money that you trust. Yeah. It's not like mob money. Yeah. Not gonna come in and get hit. Yeah. Like you are now the owner of $1 billion. Yeah. Like what do you do? I would move out. Immediately. Yeah. That's like buy a fully furnished home. Materialistically, that is I wouldn't buy a home. I would still rent an apartment, but I would rent a nice apartment. You wouldn't purchase property? You'd still rent? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's $1 billion. Like you would be amazed at how quickly it goes. I don't know. I feel like houses. I feel like you can put $1 billion into a house like pretty quickly. What? What are you talking about? I don't know. Houses are $1 billion. Houses are a lot of upkeep. Listen, it's sounding dumber the more I talk. It's $100 million. I'm slowly but surely disagreeing with myself. Okay, if this was $1 million, your point would stand.
Yeah.
But $1 billion?
Yeah.
That's a ton of money.
No, I could definitely get like the semi that my mom has right now and like probably be okay.
You could probably buy most of Kitchener with $1 billion. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'll buy I would buy a reasonable house.
Yeah.
I would, you know what? I would like a bungalow.
Mm-hmm.
I have lived in houses that are attached to other houses my entire life. I want a separated house.
Yeah.
I don't want to share walls with anybody anymore. I'm tired of it.
You don't want to have a shower in here like.
No, I just like no. If anything, like I'm the noise that people are concerned about. I want to buy my own right to make noise. Like
right,
I tiptoeing is it's such a natural movement to me. Like I think you mentioned actually a couple of podcasts ago we were talking about how like we can tell who's walking around in the house based on like their tread.
Yep.
And you mentioned how I kind of like shuffle.
You do the slide.
Yeah.
You go.
Because it's quieter. Because I have always lived in houses that are attached to other people's houses. So you have to be conscious of them. I'm a night owl. So like I tiptoe around to not wake anybody up. It's like in my DNA now to be quiet. And I want a house that is separated from another house so that I don't have to do that anymore. So I can like stomp, like Hulk smash around a house.
Like my parents. Just say.
But I want that kind of audacity, you know? I want to be able to have that audacity to walk around like that. Your parents walk around like that because they are comfortable with owning the space under this roof.
Also,
that they
your
occupy.
neighbors aren't going to hear you stomping around here in this house.
No, so they're completely within their right to do that, and they can. And I want that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even like a habit thing. It's a comfort thing.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think your mom walks like that in my house when she visits my house.
No,
I haven't
she'd
noticed
be
it.
far quieter, I imagine.
Yeah, because it's somebody else's house.
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt that sense of ownership.
Right.
And I want that.
You want that for
so
you.
badly.
Yeah.
And I also like, you know, I like to listen to music when I shower, and I'm always conscious of the level. So like my neighbors at my house in Kitchener have a new baby. He's like he's almost a year old.
Yeah.
And
stop crying all the time.
I always try to be like conscious
Fucking
of
baby.
nap times. Because, you know, I would feel bad if I had a newborn baby and I just put him down for a nap and I'm exhausted and I'm tired.
Yeah.
And my neighbor starts fucking blasting Cardi B the second I put him down.
It's like, good night, sweetie. Thank you.
And it's up and it's up and it's up and it's stuck.
Yeah.
And you're like,
this is for all my nasty hoes. Yeah.
get a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. And you're just like,
this house was a deal, and I'm starting to
feel
realize why.
Starting to realize why, because of this fucking neighbor. And I don't want that anymore.
Of course,
I want to blast my own music and not have to be conscious of my neighbors. And like for me, blasting, like, okay, your dad with his massive speaker, blasting would disrupt any neighbor. I just want to have my little Bluetooth speaker up at max, which is really only like. It's like turning your TV up to like 30 instead of 17.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's really not that big a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do that and not have to worry about bothering anybody and just like have my space, you know?
Totally.
That's what I would do with $1 billion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's an interesting answer because I think that like there's a key difference between you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like I do the same thing. Like if I woke up with $1 billion tomorrow, I'd pursue obviously the responsible things we talked about, but who fucking gives a fucking shit about that? I would do something I've always wanted. It's like I've always wanted my own house, so I'd probably buy a modest house.
Yeah.
Because I think having a modest house is fine, where I'd probably spend a bit more money. Like I would love to have like a vacation home.
Yeah.
Or like a cottage of some kind.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a cottage ever growing up as a kid. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like a place you can go to in the summer and the weekends and stuff. So I'd probably spend some money on that. I think that I would spend a lot of that money enhancing things about my life that already exist.
Yeah.
It's like I'd probably spend money to get a really nice computer.
Yeah.
I'd probably spend money like that Bluetooth speaker you're talking about. Like I wouldn't get like the dinky dollar store one.
Yeah.
I'd probably get like a really nice Bose one or something.
Yeah.
You know, like that is where I would spend my money.
Yeah, totally.
And like, but my car would be like a total shit box. Because I don't give a shit. Does it turn on?
Yeah,
Great.
exactly. No, you would just get a car that doesn't give you any problems. I mean,
think,
like the car you have right now, for what it's worth.
Yeah. Again, like I would evaluate things about my life that I think that are totally fine.
Yeah.
Then I would leave them alone.
Yeah.
Then I evaluate things about my life that cause me frustration.
Yeah.
And then I would throw money at it until it stops being
it's
frustrating.
not a problem anymore. I would pay all of my problems away. That's
Exactly.
all I want.
But do you have any idea how much easier my life would be? Like even right now, like I'm trying to upgrade my computer and I got to like penny pinch here and there, and even I have to actually. It's going to cost quite a bit of money. But even with that in mind, my life would be so much fucking easier if I could just go onto like Newegg or something and buy a $4,000 PC and then just be like, ha ha, tap. You know, like, you know, it's like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Email me that receipt.
Dunzo.
You know, like, how great would that be?
Finito.
With $1 billion, we could buy a studio property.
Exactly.
And like have that.
And just like have, not like we could buy like and we could turn it into like a mini soundstage too.
Yeah.
So that like we have a studio space. Like, okay, I have this dream, and I really want to make it happen someday, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the property is going to get bought up before we have the money to make it happen.
Right.
But in the plaza behind my house, there used to be a Cora's. And that Cora's shut down just before the pandemic hit. Oops. And actually kind of like at the beginning of the pandemic too. So it's this huge, huge empty space. And now it's been up for lease for about 2 years now.
Wow.
Like a year and a half. And it's like it's enormous. And I just think like, what if we had the money to lease that property, knock down like all of the booths, like take out the kitchen, blah, 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 studio space.
I mean, it's a massive building.
It was a Cora's. It was a full-blown restaurant.
Yeah.
Take that.
And Cora's are often big too. Like they're like huge. Sizable restaurants.
Yeah, they're enormous. It's the size of, think of like a family-sized restaurant. Like it's enormous.
Like Denny's times 2.
Exact, or just like
minimum,
or just Denny's.
Yeah,
just Denny's. Like take that, convert it into a studio, office, and soundstage. We could split it up into like 3 sections, and we could like do all that.
I think that's a good. I mean, I think that's quite the dream.
Yeah.
I think some of the problems you probably.
It's a huge dream because it was like, again, there's a kitchen in there. Like you would have to completely renovate it.
You more than likely would have to knock down the building actually and like rebuild from the foundation up, because like
my dad works in construction.
There'd be a lot of code that you need to change to convert into the kind of business you wanted to make it. And like right now it's coded up for a restaurant.
Yeah.
So there'd be a lot of piping you gotta move, a lot of gas you gotta move. So you probably have to start from scratch.
We could keep the kitchen as like a kitchen.
That could be a way to circumvent that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you just leave it alone, be a kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's an industrial kitchen. It's like a fucking restaurant kitchen, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
Hire some chefs, get them in there. Come to Chill Spot, record a podcast, eat a meal. That sounds like a great time.
Dream.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I like we're kind of moving away from the YouTubery content, but like a show that I've always wanted to make is a show, because I love cooking, as we've all talked about before. Show I've always wanted to make is almost like a dinner table podcast kind of thing, where it's like you have the show is 2 halves, right? You have one half being me cooking something, and then the other half at the dinner table eating and talking. But the whole idea, like in my dream of dreams, like this sound stage that we would record this on, like one half is the kitchen table and the other half is the kitchen. But like the mics are in the air in such a way that like if a guest was to walk up from the table, walk over to me where I'm cooking, like we could chat over there and have it all be a part of the thing. Or like you would be a part of this as well, so maybe you're at the dinner table talking to guests and stuff. I just feel like, and like I try to go the extra mile to make it all as like homey as possible. You know, like nice like warm lighting, and like it feels nice and comfortable. And I don't know, I just feel like that would be an interesting way to just get interesting conversations going.
Cameron, you just want to have people over for dinner.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to make a show out of it. It'd be fun.
I think you just want to have people over for dinner,
I know, it's been a long time. And I want to cook good food for my friends, damn it.
Like, I don't think you need to turn that into a podcast. I think you just missed your friends and you want to have them over for dinner. Yeah, I think you just miss dinner parties.
It is also something I want to do. It would be fun.
All right.
There's no show like it that I can think of. So,
right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, we'll workshop it. We'll figure it out.
I mean, it's never going to happen. But
yeah, no, like I just want to, you know what I would want to do if I suddenly had $1 billion and like unquestionable. I just want to create the kind of safety net for myself that rich people's kids have.
Yeah, really.
For themselves.
Set up like bare savings accounts for your kids and their kids and their kids' kids.
Yeah.
You know?
And just like, have that sort of like comfort and security, but it's just me. You know, I don't have like a parent controlling it for me or anything like that. Just like, I have the complete freedom to pursue my career exactly the way that I want to do it without financial ramifications.
I could wake up at 11 a.m. from now on.
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be great?
Exactly. I could do a couple free internships.
You know?
Yeah.
That's interesting though, where it's like, cause like I gotta wonder, right? Because rich people are famously disconnected from. Okay, I don't want to be as blanket as I just was.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lots of rich people who are, for all intents and purposes, totally fucking normal people. But you hear about a lot of rich people who, like, after being rich for so long, or like never even, or there's lots of rich people who've never experienced what being poor is like.
Born into wealth
And generational wealth and stuff like that. Like, they often find themselves completely disconnected. Like, I think it was on like Ellen. She asked Bill Gates like how much a bottle of laundry detergent was, and he didn't know. Like he honestly didn't know, and his guess was like $30.
It's that classic Lucille Bluth quote where it's like, it's a banana, Michael. How much could it cost? $10?
Exactly, because $10 to them is like
cheap.
A penny.
Yeah.
It's a penny.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't have $10?
It's a genius line. I like.
Oh, it's really funny.
I love Arrested Development for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're just so out of touch like that.
They can be, for sure.
Yeah.
And like, that is something I think I'd be worried about, because I think it's really easy to get lost in money.
Yeah.
So easy, in fact, I think it happens to pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
Like, even you and I, like, if we woke up tomorrow with $1 billion, I think there'd be a period, I don't know how long or short it would be, that we would probably struggle with being lost in the money sauce.
Yeah.
For a bit, anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the way I see it is like, once you have that kind of endless wealth, like $1 billion is a lot of fucking money. It's a ton of money.
Yeah.
And
it's an insane amount of money.
The more you spend and you see how that number, like, it goes down, but like, if you invest it properly or spent properly, like, you're probably going to have this money forever.
Yeah.
You know? When does the spending stop, right?
Yeah.
When, for me, like if I was to attack my life the way that I said I would, which is like throw money and inconveniences, like, when does that end, right? At what point do I say, well, this is an inconvenience now? Something that wasn't an inconvenience before is an inconvenience now.
Oh, you mean like, when does your perspective of what is inconvenient change for you?
But that's the kind of thing that I think that's how people get lost in money.
Because right now we're saying like, oh, well, like I would throw money at all of my problems. Like you said that. Remember, if you woke up with $1 billion, you would throw money at all of your problems.
That's right.
Like, you need a new computer. For what we do, you need a new computer. It's too old. It gives us problems all the time. It's an inconvenience. You would throw money at that. We want to live in our own home, so we would buy a house. That's it. Well, it's not a problem, but like it's not a problem, but it is a problem.
It's not a problem, the fact that we're not homeless.
Yeah.
We have comfortable places to live, and we're lucky
we're very
and
fortunate that we live with people that we love to live with.
100%.
We have a good relationship with both of our parents, and we're very happy living with them. And
but we are
work
craving
well
independence.
Together, but I am craving independence. We would you know, like if we ever encounter car trouble, like we both are car owners, so like if we ever encountered a problem with that, like, you know, we could fix it and not have to worry about draining our bank accounts and stuff like that. Like we would throw money at problems like that. But if we were to suddenly be rich, like what would be a problem?
Well, because
it would be more.
It would transform.
It would transform, and like, what does that mean for us and how we interact with the world and how we perceive the world?
I think the breaking point for me, the epiphany moment that I would have, it'd be like, we're sitting in our like modest home, like, you know, we have like fun renovations, like you and I love movies and TV, so we probably go the home theater route, and then like we're sitting in our home theater and the TV fucks up, and I go, Jesus, so I take out my phone and buy another one, and then like at that
and then
moment,
you have to like wait for the TV to come.
But at that moment, I'd be like, I think I have a problem. like no, seriously. I seriously think that like it would be one of those moments where it's like, there's nothing wrong with this TV.
Yeah.
It didn't load for a second.
Yeah.
And I bought another one.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta reevaluate some stuff.
I think
you gotta reevaluate some stuff.
And then, you know, I look around the room and I have like two $8,000 PCs over there.
Yeah.
And like every special edition PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I've lost myself a little bit.
Can I just say, I would never let you get to that point.
Thank you for saying that.
Like, no, seriously. Like the trigger word for me was 4 special edition PS4s. If you bought, because you have a special edition PS4
I do.
right now, you have the God of War.
The God of War, I've had it for years.
If you bought another PS4, like a special edition PS4, and I was like, okay, so are you gonna trade in that one, like the God of War one?
No,
and you said no.
I'm gonna put it on a shelf.
I would say, Cameron, You need to make a decision.
Yeah.
Do you want the new special edition or do you want to keep this one? Because I'm not having 2 special edition PS4s.
Yeah.
Just sitting around.
Oh, if
That's
I wanted
stupid.
If I wanted to have like grotesque shows of wealth,
Yeah.
and I bought like a fucking banging mansion, and
Yeah.
if I was going all in on this concept, if I was to be like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, let's live large and be assholes, you know? Like, buy a mansion. Yeah, I'll have a gaming room with, like, a ton of special edition PS4s on display.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't want to be that guy.
You know, you can,
I don't wanna
exactly,
be that
exactly.
guy.
You can have the ball and gaming room, but you were going to have one of each console. The excess, I can't do it.
Yeah.
This is the thing I hate about rich people is just the excess,
Mm-hmm.
because that is what actually Drew Gooden, who's a YouTuber, he makes really good video essays. He's actually He got really popular on Vine because he's the road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Oh,
guy.
no way. Classic.
Actually makes really fucking good video essays. You should watch the one he made on whether SNL is still funny or not.
Amazing.
It was actually one of the things that convinced me to like start watching SNL for myself. But regardless, he has a video essay that, granted, I haven't watched yet, called "Rich People Have Bad Taste." I just agree with him. I just read the title and agreed with him because other things in my life have shown that rich people have terrible fucking taste, and it's all to do with that excess that you talk about.
Can I pause for we continue this?
Wait, let me just finish my point. So
Okay.
you say you want to have this like baller ass gaming room, but
Yeah.
it's like if I walk into that fucking gaming room and there's a wall of special edition PS4s and like every single collectible in the world, you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna look ugly, and I don't want it in my house.
Yeah.
And I don't think rich people have that like connection. They're just like, I'm rich, I gotta have things. My life is so empty. I just gotta have things. And you just like fill it up with shit, and before you know it, you have a clusterfuck of a house.
Yeah, the excess can be a
That
problem.
is just ugly. Or you go the opposite route and you're like, I'm so cool, I'm gonna have as little as possible to show how hard I'm trying to not look rich. And then you have an extremely minimalist house that is so uncomfortable to live in that it's like, who lives here? What do you like? You come home from a hard day and you sit on a couch that looks like a Lego block. Like,
Right.
this sucks.
Right.
This sucks so hard. I
Yeah.
hate this.
Yeah.
You bring kids home to this? This is stupid.
Why is there plastic on your Lego block couch?
Like, I don't know if you
It's
ever
plastic.
saw like, I don't know if you ever saw like that tour of like Kim and Kanye's mansion that they had they spent like now that they're getting divorced, they spent like 70% of their marriage building this house and not even living in it, just like building it and designing it.
On like a Kardashian compound, like the Card Jenner, like
no, they just live
like a secluded area.
They all live in the same area, like down the street from each other.
Oh, okay.
They live in like the same gated community.
Right, okay, that's the word. The compound's not the right word.
They
Gated
have
community.
other neighbors who aren't Card Jenners, but they just live
Right.
very close to each other in the same gated neighborhood.
Sure.
So, but Kim and Kanye's house took forever to fucking build, and it looks like no one. It looks like the coldest. Like it looks like an empty room at the MoMA before they put the displays in there.
I find that often too. Like when you
and
look.
I'm like, you have 4 children under 10.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck do they do here? Like,
They probably have many playrooms
yeah.
and lots of toys.
Yeah, no, they do have playrooms, but it's just like it looks empty, you know, and it doesn't look like a home.
Well, that's what I find as well. Like, like first thing when you go into like see pictures of like a really nice house,
Yeah.
or like a borderline mansion,
Yeah.
like don't you find that there's often a lot of unused space, like
Yeah.
because of just the sheer size of it all.
You don't go into all those rooms.
But second
You
thing,
don't need all that space.
what was the name of that guy you mentioned just now?
Drew Gooden.
Drew Gooden.
Yeah.
That was the most Sam Mercury statement I think you've ever made.
Yeah, I know.
Which is
I know.
Which
I
is
read the headline and I agreed with it.
no, not even that. I love the way you put it because you were like, Drew Gooden, this guy, yeah, he makes video essays. Like, this one was really good, and he had this point that I really agree with. I haven't watched the video. It's like, all right. I just thought it was funny.
I'll watch the video later.
I mean, you like him. So
I'll watch
you'll
the
enjoy
video between recording this and editing it
Exactly.
and putting it up on the
And
internet forever.
then there'll be like hey, this is editing Sam. That guy got real racist in that video. I'm sorry. I didn't watch it, but I wish I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you fucking imagine?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
I would have to do something like that. I'll
But yeah.
post my iOS apology note in the edits. Hey everybody, Editing Sam here. I watched the video and I agree with him.
But yeah, the excess I think is the sort of the death of the regular person.
Yeah.
And but you know what though, I'm not defending rich people at all when I say this, but I think if you have excess amounts of wealth, it would be really easy to live in excess.
Yeah.
Well, of course it would be.
Yeah.
Because you have so much money.
What do
so
you
much
do?
freedom.
Like, so much of life when you're not born into mass amounts of wealth is just acquiring your own wealth.
Yeah.
And once you have that, there's not much else in society that we advertise you need to do with your life.
Mm-hmm.
So because the average person spends their entire lives chasing wealth.
You get to 80 and you finally have a half decent amount of money.
Exactly. So you tap out and then your body withers and you die.
Yeah.
So like if you find yourself before the age of 80 with mass amounts of wealth and you're set for life,
there's no framework of how to live.
People like society just kind of goes, I don't know, buy stuff, I guess. Like you're done. Like
yeah.
Clock out, dude.
Go all into your hobbies. I buy like a sick gaming table.
Yeah.
Like one of those wormwood ones.
It just gets
super cool.
It just gets silly, you know? Like you're like you there's this like door that you break through and then like you break through to the other side and it's just like there's nothing. We just spend so much of our lives like chasing security.
Yeah.
If you get it too early, it's like what else is there to do with the rest of your life?
Honest to God, Sam, I know this is probably a little like not exactly the way that like an artist wants to live his life. But if I came into $1 billion and didn't have to work another day in my life, I think I'd just put my fucking feet up. Like, I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Listen, like
I'd become a total slob.
I love art and I love the pursuit of telling stories that you think are important and need to be told. And I genuinely enjoy looking at what other artists think are worthy stories of being told. I love it. But if I could just not do anything like and feel good about that, I would do it. I would just mind my own business.
Yeah, why not?
I would just live my life,
donate to some charities every year.
I would just enjoy my shelter and my food.
Order
just
like a $200 pizza every couple of days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and just live my fucking life.
Buy some of Seth Rogen's weed or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know?
Actually, it's not that bad. The OCS makes it expensive.
Houseplant?
But it's about the same price as like other strains.
It's good stuff too.
That you can buy,
I always bring that up because he actually just launched it in California. Like he has like a whole thing that he and I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah.
He worked on a long time for that. So
yeah. Seth Rogen is one of those rich people that I'm like, you know what? Good for you.
You seem okay.
He seems really okay. Yeah.
Totally. Actually, you know what I would do to kind of cap off this $1 billion conversation? If I had $1 billion tomorrow, I would, get comfy, put my feet up, relax, but I pursue things that, like, I personally have always wanted to pursue, like, if I could blindly.
Without the pressure of needing to make money off of it.
Yeah. If there was no COVID, in this hypothetical, in this perfect world where I have $1 billion, there's also no COVID.
Yeah.
I would go to, like, my favorite manga artists and be like, give me a number.
Yeah.
I would love to learn how you draw. Like I don't care. Like what money you want. It doesn't matter. Like
private drawing lessons.
I would love to sit and like whether it be lessons, whether it be conversations. I just want to talk to those guys.
Cool.
And girls for that matter.
Cool.
But like because I feel like there'd be such a wealth of information there.
Absolutely.
And like you would just all the ways that different people draw, especially those like hardened professionals.
Yeah.
It would just be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be something I'd do.
I would definitely love to like occupy the time of some of my favorite actors and filmmakers.
Same thing.
And just be like, can I just like come to set with you and like see how movies are made?
Yeah.
Like
you don't
even have to like you don't even have to like sit down and like talk to me. Like I'll just like, can I pay you $1 billion to be your PA?
You know what I mean?
I would buy myself a job.
I like to think that if we were all of a sudden billionaires, we'd probably keep up Chill Spot, because like it's fun and we like doing it.
Yeah.
I would love to reach out and be like, hey, Bradley Cooper, like, I'll give you $2 million to come to my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that kind of money. Yes, I recorded my mommy's basement.
Yeah.
I built this studio. I'm not going to get rid of it because I'm rich now.
Come over. Exactly.
Growing up, Sam, there is, in my life, and I'm assuming is yours as well, there is all sorts of different wealth differences in kids that we knew growing up.
Yeah.
What were some things that you noticed about other kids that would like give off the vibe that they're come from affluent backgrounds?
Steps into your bedroom.
Fascinating.
Yeah. If you had like a step, some bedrooms have like a step down. I was like, you're rich. You have to step into your bedroom.
Yeah.
I just like cross over a threshold like a common whore.
You descend the stairs like at the ball.
Yeah.
Like into your own bedroom.
Yeah.
Like the lady Samantha Mercury.
Yeah.
And it's like one step, like, all right. Bedtime.
Into the bed.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. No, steps in your bedroom. Anywhere in your bedroom. Like I've been in certain bedrooms where it's like a step into like through the door into the bedroom.
Right.
And then some people like you walk into the bedroom and then it's like a step down into like the area where the bed literally is.
Mm-hmm.
And that is rich to me. I don't know why.
That's an interesting distinction because it is kind of like I'm trying to find the right word for this. I mean, frankly, I think the reason there's a step in the bedroom at all is probably just because of the way the house was built, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like you have to have room in your room to accommodate a step
for that to make sense.
No, naturally. So and
think about
that
my
would automatically mean a bigger room.
Think about my room in the semi-detached. Like, where are you gonna put a step?
Why would you put a step in that room?
Why would you put a step
Where
in
would
there?
you put a step into the window?
Like everything is literally on top of everything else. Like you have the basement, which is like just below the living room, which is like, and the living room is just below my bedroom. If you put a step there, there's gonna be like a random like indentation in the ceiling, looking up when you're in the living room, looking up at the ceiling.
Yeah, totally.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting. So okay, like full disclosure, everyone. Like, you know, my family, like, we live upper middle class. Like, I was raised in the upper middle class. So,
you live in the suburbs.
What I think is interesting in that is that, like, I knew kids who definitely had more money than my parents did.
Yeah.
And the difference between me and them, it's amazing how stark that becomes.
Yeah.
Because what you said is, like, a pretty minuscule difference.
Yeah.
It's, like, something you notice, like, is like, oh, there's, like, a bit more money here. But when you compare it to, like, these like rich kids, the gap becomes different, right? Like I had this kid growing up who talked time and time again about how his parents never, like, they don't have any money, they don't give him any money. Like I'm always like wearing shitty clothes because we ain't got no money. I went to his house. He's got a nicer fucking house in here, and he's got like all like and like for a guy who like never has any money, you sure are like constantly wearing the nicest trends. I find a sign of like rich kidness, trying to hide it. Like that's something I noticed growing up, where it's like it's one thing to flaunt your wealth, it's another thing to hide it and be bad at hiding.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think because I probably grew up like lower middle class. I like to feel like I'm like staunchly in the middle because
I think
like,
you're middle class, like middle class.
Like yeah. Like lower to middle class.
I'd say mid, honestly.
And like I have nice things, but it only comes around on like birthdays and like Christmases and stuff like that, or like milestones kind of deal. So to me, like I see that as just ignorance. Like to you, what is shitty, or like if your parents don't have any money, or if they don't, it's because your perception of what is like rich or like good quality or like high class is so much higher than what I perceive it to be. So you know, I would look at that kid and my parents don't have any money, I don't have the blah blah blah, but he's always wearing the latest trendy clothes. Well, to him, wearing the latest trendy clothes is like the bare minimum,
right, of
what he should have, of what he thinks everybody deserves.
Yeah.
So like having like the latest, I'm thinking like early 2000s, so like having the latest like Sean John sweatsuit is like, oh, well, everybody should have this.
Oh, you got that Aeropostale shirt just as it came out.
Yeah. It's like, of course I have the new Jordans. Do you not get the newest Jordans? Like everybody gets the newest Jordans. Because that's all that you understand.
That's interesting.
All that you know.
That's an interesting point.
Whereas to me, it's like if I wanted a new pair of Jordans, I would have to have to want the Jordans in like July, and then start planting the seeds for it, so that by the time January, my birthday comes around, mom has had enough time to save up the money.
And then, yeah.
Granted, my privilege comes in the sense that my parents have jobs where they can save up to buy, whereas his parents can just drop the money as soon as the shoes come out.
We also both benefit from having very financially literate parents.
Yes.
Like they're not stupid, but I mean, when it came down to us.
That's a privilege that we have.
Totally,
that
total
our parents
privilege.
just so happen to be smart with money. But like to rich people, the bare minimum is the best.
Yes. Okay.
And then they create, because rich people are like this, they create better than the best so that they have something to aspire to.
Like there is a bar, but
Yeah.
our bar, like what we understand as a luxury,
Yeah.
is like relative to everyone else's.
Yeah.
But to this kid,
Yeah.
his bar is like 3 leagues above. And if it doesn't
Yeah.
anything below that, even if it is like
Is
a
like
banging flat screen TV in your room,
is like poverty.
yeah.
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 Like you're absolutely impoverished
Mhm.
that like you don't like 4K TVs came out and you didn't get one until like a year after they first came
Oh, they
out.
bought it on sale.
Exactly.
It was only $900.
Cameron, literally that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that kid probably did think that his parents were like fucking poor because that was his perception of wealth.
Right. Right.
Which is disgusting to me as a mid to lower middle class
Mhm.
person. Oh, you had to save up to buy a 4K TV instead
What-
of dropping 9K on it from the jump.
What a crime.
Yeah.
What a price to pay.
What a-
like Jesus. Who get like I mean
You
like
poor thing.
granted,
You poor soul.
I'm not trying to come down on them too hard because I think as a kid it's really hard to grasp something like that.
Yeah, they're also children.
Yeah.
So like, you give it time.
I mean, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
we're here like you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
What are you, 7?
Hopefully,
Yes?
you know, you grow up and you learn the value of $1.
Totally.
Like that certainly happened with me where I was like, you know, like I've mentioned before that like growing up, I basically lived in a single income household. My mom made all of the money,
Yeah.
most of the money. Not that my
Money.
dad didn't make any money, but his cash flow was a lot more inconsistent than my mom's.
Your mom
was.
it was the breadwinner.
And my mom was like steady, like, you know, like 5-figure digits every single year. So, I couldn't have the things that my friends who even had like 2 parents.
Right.
Cause you know, like my friends growing up who had 2 parents that both worked and had good jobs that gave them like 5 digits a year, like salaried, like they could afford to go in and get their kid like the newest Game Boy, like when the Game Boy Advance SP came out. You know, my answer when I wanted that was save your birthday money. I can't get you that.
Right.
I could get it. I did have the privilege to acquire it.
You eventually got it, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't. I just because I just didn't want it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had an SP.
No,
you had a DS
because
growing
like
up.
not long after I heard about the SP, rumors of like the Nintendo DS were coming out. And my mom was like, "Save up for
Save
that.
for that one.
If you
yeah.
if you wait even more, you'll have more money. You can get the DS and a couple of games when it comes out."
And at that time, the DS played Game Boy Advance games too, dude.
So she was like, "Save up for that.
Yeah.
Don't buy the SP," which was smart. But like my friends' parents could afford to like go in on gadgets for them right from the jump, and
Yeah.
they didn't have to wait a year
Buy it off the bat.
to buy it off the bat.
Mhm.
And that to me was wealth.
Right.
Oh, you have 2 parents who can afford to buy you things at the same time and also support a household. Whereas my mom was like, just trying to make it work. Just like,
Yeah.
just trying to make it work. Like, I understand that you want things, but like, there's so many other things. And as a kid, I would get frustrated. But now that I know,
Well, yeah.
now
you
that I know
understand.
all that she was trying to afford with what she had at the time with no help, I'm like, yeah, Sam, shut the fuck up and just wait for the DS to come out a year later.
You little fucking idiot.
You'll be fine with a Game Boy Advance for a year.
You know
It's
what?
fine.
No games come out at a console at launch anyway. Just give it a year
Yeah.
where there's actually games to play.
It's fine.
And then buy it then when
All
it's
you wanna
$100 off.
All you want to do is play Pokemon and The Sims anyways.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine.
Download
You're
that
fine.
for free on your computer.
Yeah. just chill out, you
Yeah.
know? And hopefully that kid, you know, he grew up and he understood the value of $1 and was like, yeah,
No, probably
my
not.
expectations were a little bit too. We
No,
can
no.
hope. We can only hope.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding around.
We can only hope.
But yeah.
I try to see the good in people and like give them the benefit of the doubt. Because that's the other thing too. As I grew up, I realized that like more people will impress you rather than disappoint you.
More, yeah, definitely.
I always set my
definitely.
expectations really low so that I wasn't disappointed, and then I found that like people on the whole actually do exceed your expectations.
I also feel like, on a quick anecdote on that note, is that like I think, especially when you think about people you went to high school with,
Yeah.
your last memories of those people are when that was 10 years ago for us now. Like 11 for you, 10 for me.
Okay.
Like
Shut the fuck up. Fuck you, buddy.
You used to wear your age like a badge of honor.
11 for you.
Yeah.
10 for me.
Grandma.
Okay. I don't mind being older than you, but don't say it like that. Don't throw. I don't like the tone of voice that you used when you said it.
Well,
just
you
there.
had an extra 365 days. And that adds up. I mean, like, it's a bigger number than the time that I've been at high school.
Shut up! Shut up!
Anyway, your memories of these people are from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
11 for you. And like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. And you have to understand that, like, you want people to think of you as you are now, which is 10 years later.
Exactly.
A lot of change.
Exactly.
You're not the same person you were 10 years.
Exactly.
You also have to reward that to people as well.
Exactly.
I mean, you can, and I have been disappointed, but you will often find, and I do mean often, that people have changed.
Yeah.
Who knew that 10 years of life would change you?
Exactly.
Who knew?
A lot can happen in 10 years.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But you know what we'd do, Sam? If we had if I personally had a lot of money, I'm sure you'd do the same. I'd give like everything back to my parents.
Yeah.
Like
one of my biggest fears financially is that I won't be able to provide for my parents as they have been able to provide for me.
Yeah, me too.
And again, now that I've grown up and I understand the value of $1 and I understand just how much life costs, I think, wow, they gave that to me. Mm-hmm. I've never wanted for anything in my life.
Neither have I.
As they age, I want to give that back to them.
Of course.
That means a lot to me.
I would want, like I mentioned, I wanted my own cottage.
Yeah.
I would 100% buy my parents a cottage.
Yeah.
They both want one. Mom is in total denial,
but
she wants a cottage.
She wants like a Muskoka cottage.
Yeah, like a with a dock and a lake.
She wants this house right now that we have right here with a dock.
That's the one thing. My mom
looking back out onto a lake.
My mom is hilarious because she
doesn't want like a campsite.
No. She wants like like you go. It's like it's a wood cottage. Yeah. It's comfy. It's cozy. It's temperate. Got fucking Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Chromecasts.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want. My mom doesn't want to like leave behind the things you leave behind when you go to someone's cottage.
No.
Like maybe mom doesn't want cell service, which is fine.
No, I think she wants cell service.
But she would want Wi-Fi for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily blame her for that.
No.
Like, I think that, like, if I was to buy my own cottage, I'd probably get Wi-Fi for it, if I could afford it.
I just think it's smart and nice. Like, my Uncle Bruce's cottage, and my Uncle Bruce goes to his cottage to, like, get away, like, not be in touch with society. Yeah. It's, like, no electricity, no running water, and he likes starting a fire every night. Putting his giant like cauldron over the fire and then boiling the hot water that he will need for the next day. Like he wants that lifestyle. Your mom doesn't want that lifestyle.
That's such a great cottage though.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic.
A cabin, I guess is a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
That was such an awesome couple of days.
Yeah. I'm really glad you got to go out there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that like your mom doesn't want that.
No.
Your mom doesn't want the Survivor Man getaway.
My mom doesn't want to have to go outside to shit.
Your mom wants
I barely want to do that.
Exactly. By the end of the week, I was like, I don't want to shit in an outhouse anymore. The novelty, like, there's a week's worth of shit in this outhouse, and it hasn't been taken away anywhere, and it's just sitting in a pile here. And
because there's no electricity.
Can't stand it.
It's dark as anything. If there's no moonlight, like, it's dark. And then like you gotta like have the flashlight on to get to the thing. Yeah. And then if you're lucky, you'll accidentally shine the flashlight down the hole and see the literal pile of human shit. And then you're like, modern conveniences. They're a thing.
Yeah. I appreciate indoor plumbing so much more.
But shout out to your Uncle Bruce for making that experience as comfortable as possible. Though.
Yeah.
Like he bought like a toilet seat.
Yeah.
You're not just like sitting on a hole.
No.
Like shitting on the ground.
He put a toilet seat on top of the hole.
There's a toilet paper ring in there. Yeah. You know, there's like
Cottage Life magazine.
There's a really old air freshener that's covered in cobwebs. I was like,
but he tried.
He tried. You know what? Yeah. But I think I would want to give back to my parents in that way. Like, if I ever made $1 billion in a day, I would tell them they'd sell this house immediately. Yeah. And I'd be like, cool, guys, you're on my dime for the rest of your lives. Yeah. And, like, take it easy.
If we could make $1 billion, like, last.
In a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my parents, I mean, you want to talk about being boring and financially responsible. If I ever had $1 billion, my parents would sit me down and be like, all right, Cameron.
This is where you're going to put it.
This is exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I would listen to them.
The privilege of having financially literate parents.
100%.
Not everybody has that.
Yeah.
Seriously. Some people have to learn super hard lessons because they don't have people. I have friends who are in very bad situations right now because their parents didn't force them to get jobs at 15 like my mom did. My mom was like, you're getting a job at 50. Like, I'm telling you,
Actually,
my
I
mom
wanted
told
the
me
job.
when I was 13 that I was getting a job at 15.
You can't not work, Samantha.
She was like, as soon as you are able to get a job, you are getting a job, and you are not spending all of your money. Like, let me tell you what you do when you get a paycheck. You split it in half, and you put half in the savings, and you don't touch it. And it is why I can afford to not have a job right now and do what we're doing right now.
Same here.
Because my mom was financially literate enough to set me up like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Not everybody has that.
No, I mean, I had the exact same thing. Like,
It's a privilege.
I wanted a job at 16. Like, truth be told, like,
Okay.
I like really wanted one.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, truth be told, I didn't start saving, like, truly, honestly saving until, like, much later. But, I applaud your mom for doing that.
Yeah.
I wish I was saving money since I was 15.
Listen, like, a couple of years ago, I was like, don't tell her that she was right. But now that I'm here, I'm like, tell her that she was right. Like, I will put it on wax that my mom was right. And she was smart to do that, and I'm so glad she told me that, because, like, it was like when I was like sitting in the midst of a pandemic, and like, this is literally why my mom tells me everything. She's like, listen, if the world goes upside down tomorrow, you are going to be set, and this is how you're going to be set. And guess what? The world fucking turned upside down, and I wanted to quit my job in the middle of a global pandemic, and I am able to do so because my mommy told me to properly. So
shout out to moms.
Shout out to financially literate moms
Yeah,
who look
totally.
out for you and save your money properly. Because I remember like being in high school, and you're stressed out. It wasn't easy. Like, I remember once my mom actually let me stay home from school because we had one of those bullshit inventory nights at my job, and I was at work. I was at work until 1 a.m. on a school night.
That's bullshit. They should have never let you do that.
Yeah, they made me stay, and I was like, Mom, can I please? And she was like, yeah, because she had to pick me up. She was the one texting me like, are you done yet? Like, it's a school night. Like, are they going to let you go? And I got out at like midnight. And
that's irresponsible of those managers.
No, it was such bullshit. But that was really hard. And I remember looking at my friends and being like, you guys are so lucky your parents don't make you have jobs. You don't have to put up with this shit. Like, I'm so tired. And like, I lost out on school that day, and losing one day at school, it's hard to catch up.
Especially at that age,
with your workload.
Or social life as well.
Yeah, it sucks. And like, I suffered because of it. But I look at those friends now who didn't have jobs, and they can't afford to do what I'm doing.
No.
They're not even one emergency. They're one like trip to the doctor, like mere checkup away from
one dentist appointment.
From like being out.
Right.
Being back to zero.
Yeah.
And I'm not. And it's because my mom made me do that.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. What is something you would spend a lot of money on your mom of? Like, what would you buy her if you had tons of money?
I would buy her the car that she really wants. Oh? My mom right now drives the exact same car that I do, except mine's like 2 years newer.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
Well, comfortable cars.
Yeah, she drives a Toyota Matrix. But it's just a little too low to the ground for her, and she grunts every time she gets out of the car. And I would get her. She's always wanted a crossover. Like, when I got in my accident last year. Yeah, last year.
You can listen to our podcast, R.I.P. Magoo, if you want to get the scoop on that.
But when I lost my car, the car insurance paid for me to have a car rental for a week.
Yeah.
And the only car that the rental place had was a Tucson. I forget. I think a Hyundai.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, Hyundai makes Tucsons, which is a crossover SUV. So it's like, it's not quite a fucking van. It's a little bit bigger, but it is bigger. It's a little bit bigger than her Matrix.
Well, yeah, it's the in between a van and a sedan.
Yeah.
Right. It's in the middle.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. And she was so jealous. She was like, that's my dream car. Like, that's the car that I want. That is the perfect car for me. It's not too flashy, but it's up to date and it's high off the ground. So she doesn't have to like, dip down.
Like me every time I do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Into the car. And, I would get that for her because, she's only getting older and, she deserves it.
Good for you.
She deserves a car that she can comfortably get in and out of. That's and like, listen, I drove that car for a week and I was like, I get it.
There's a glorious car.
I get it.
We took a couple spins in that shit.
It's a great car.
Great car.
Yeah.
She could drive that car to my parents' hypothetical cottage that I'm going to buy for them.
There you go.
We all spend a weekend up there.
Yeah.
Spend a month up there.
My only thing about those cars is that they're not as good on gas as our current cars are. The mileage is it's not as good.
But when you're a fucking billionaire, Sam, Put in the Primo gas. See what happens. None of us have hit that tab at the gas machine. You know, the one on the far right that you never touch? What'll happen if you touch it? I don't know. Is it liquid gold?
You'll pay $2 a liter is what will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my mom's car needs premium gas.
Yeah.
She drives a Mercedes.
And it sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's the one thing she's like, because, okay, so fun to talk about dream cars.
Yeah.
My mom's dream car was a Mercedes. She's always like, ever since she was a kid, she's wanted a Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then, after enough saving, after many, many years, and like going through cars and being good with spending and credit score, blah, 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 my dad bought her a Mercedes. And she loves that car. Drives it everywhere when she can. But the Primo gas is something she does not like about that car.
No.
Who would?
No.
You're paying an extra $3 for gas per liter, or per whatever, you know, like
per liter.
Yeah, and it's like
it sucks. Cause like she was kind enough to loan you that car when yours died a couple of years ago, and like you would have to fill it up
for like a 2 weeks. Yeah.
So you had to pay the premium gas prices, and you
Yeah.
feel it.
If I had to pay $150 every time I had to fill my car up, granted, gas was bad that week, typically.
Oh my god.
But like that's the kind of money though. That's fucked.
That's the other thing too. I would just like to not have to gawk at prices anymore.
Yeah.
For basic things.
But that's
like
how
gas,
you get numb.
Like food, like clothing, like going out to dinner, like at restaurants and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like right now I have the mindset of like, don't even look at the appetizer menu because appetizers hike your bill up like $20.
Significantly, yeah.
Like significantly. And I would like to just not have that frame of mind anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. With that in mind, if you had $1 billion tomorrow, what is the most ludicrously expensive thing you would splurge on yourself?
Like the greatest extravagance?
Yeah, like no price is obviously not an issue. And I do mean like splurge.
Yeah.
Don't say like I'd buy nice face creams or like I'd put it all in a savings
splurge,
account.
though.
Like, but you know you're very low scale. Like think
but
big.
I like skin. I like good skincare. I would love to spend $80 on eye cream.
No, I'm talking like what $3 million purchase would you make for yourself? Like what an insane expense would you like? What?
And it has to be a thing. It can't be like a trip or an experience.
It could be a trip or an experience.
Okay. Yeah, no, like if we weren't living in a COVID world right now, I would have like a rich Italian experience.
Ooh,
I
that'd be
wouldn't
fun.
go to some like little itty bitty town. I would go to like a resort in like Florence and like be waited on hand and foot and like eat everything, buy everything that I want. I'm not even that, because like, I don't really care about designer clothes. That's the other thing too. Rich people have terrible taste in clothes. Rich clothes.
I guess so.
Rich clothes are so ugly. Designer clothes are so ugly. And I will go on wax right now. I'm not a Birkin girl. I've seen like Cardi B's Birkin collection, like Kylie Jenner's Birkin collection. They're not my type of bag, sis.
Right.
I don't like them. I love a crossbody bag that I can just sling on my body and forget that it's there. I don't want to walk like this all day.
I don't even really know what a Birkin bag looks like.
This gives you tennis elbow.
Is that how you have to hold them?
Yeah, you have to like hold them like this. They're handbags. You have to like cradle them in your arm.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like holding the handle up here.
Oh,
and then it would come down to like here.
That. No.
Like a weird cord.
No.
Or something. No. You hold it here.
Yeah, it's like in the crook of your elbow. Here, I'll Google. I'll put a picture of a Birkin bag up for all of y'all right now.
Yeah, those listening on Spotify, I guess you're gonna have to watch the fucking YouTube video. Like it
into
while you're at it.
Get
bitch.
into it. Okay.
I
Yeah. Perfect. This Birkin is almost $20,000.
What?
Yep. And it looks like this.
Oh, come on. What?
Yeah.
Sam's gonna put this picture up. So
it's not.
like,
I'll save it. It's really not my bag.
It's fucking.
Literally. Literally.
Add to bag. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why is it so expensive?
Is
it the material?
Yeah, because of the material, because it's designer, like the name, like the Birkin name, like costs you money. They also
half
don't.
Decent size in terms of
they are.
what you
No,
could
they
put
are.
in it.
They are good. You could put. Honestly, I could probably put like your surface right here in a Birkin bag. They're big.
Oh, really? So
they're
they're like
and the cord.
sizable.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
damn.
they're sizable bags. And they don't depreciate in value. You know how sometimes when you buy something on trend, like the value of it depreciates as it gets more and more out of trend?
But
Birkin bags never depreciate. They're an investment.
Okay, so here's the thing that I'm having trouble with. There's a section here. Put this up as well. There's a section here that details like the material and of the bag, and like it looks expertly made. Like I can't talk shit about how it's made, but like it's purple leather, like it's leather. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe it's some like golden cow
like
leather.
Italian leather.
Birkin himself walked to the highest mountain in Italy and skinned that cow. You know, I don't know. Maybe that happened, but like. There's the same scratches you would see in anything leather. There's the same like weird like edges that you would see in anything that's leather.
If I were to go to like Danier and like buy a leather bag,
like that, but how is that allowed? This is $20,000.
Yeah, the name, the fact that it never depreciates in value, so it's basically an investment,
right?
Like it.
Oh, because you could flip that. Like the idea is like I have $20,000. I don't really trust investors or banks. I'm gonna buy a Birkin bag, and then hope it doesn't get destroyed in the time that I own it. And then when I need that $20,000 back, I'll pawn it off to somebody.
I mean, you could do that, yeah. You could also just be rich and have like a room full of them and just be like, look at all of
look at my bags.
Look at all of the money that I
look
could
at my
be
bags
that I don't have to pawn off because I'm rich.
Yeah. And
I have all of these rich ass bags.
But that's a good answer though, like going to Italy and like splurging and like doing the whole trip and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about like what expense that I would what one thing I'd really splurge on. I'd probably I gotta think about it. Like probably something interest wise. Oh, I know what I would do. I would go the distance with
You would find your way. You know, you could be strong.
I could be strong. Yes.
You'd go every mile.
Yeah.
It'd be worth your while.
I'd become Hercules. Yeah. No. I'd probably like I mentioned earlier in the podcast how my biggest dream is to own one of those like wormwood gaming tables. I'd go the whole 9 yards and like tabletop RPG board game / like make a room. Like I'd go as far to have like dungeon lighting.
Okay.
And like stone brick wall.
Cool.
And like make it as like maybe like soundproof the room so like outer noises can't get in, you know? Like I would go all in on making Dungeons and Dragons specifically, but also just like playing board games and hanging out like as immersive as possible.
Cool.
And that's something like I would like spare no expense on that.
Actually, I think Joe Manganiello, who has a celebrity D&D group that he runs.
Yeah.
He has like a D&D room.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I want one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like how great would it be? Because like oftentimes a hurdle with Dungeons and Dragons is that like because you have to role play, and if you're not used to it, like role playing is kind of silly, right? You're sitting at a table and pretending to be some fantasy creature,
but you change absolutely nothing about yourself or your appearance.
Well, typically, I mean, like, but that'd be another fun part, like a whole costume wardrobe,
right?
Maybe like if I need to be a goblin or whatever, you walk over and get like a pair of green ears, and it's like like maybe the goblin, you know, like or like whatever, right? But so many people, I find, struggle with roleplay because like oftentimes like your fucking mom is walking around or like your partner is walking around and like it can be embarrassing. It can be like self-conscious, but you're in a room where it's like, nah, bitch, we are in a dungeon right now. Right. And there's torches in this piece.
This like, is a safe dungeon.
This is the safest you maybe have ever been.
This is the safest space that looks like a dungeon you will ever.
Little did you know that this room could also handle a nuclear blast. You are very safe.
You would build a D&D room / bunker.
A D&D safe room? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun. You know, like have it like be in the have it literally be like a bunker in the backyard.
That's actually kind of dope because like you're not just saying like, oh well, because like the thing that I hate about like people who build bunkers is that like you build your bunker. The world's not over yet, so it just sits there. It just sits there, and you have all of these canned goods and foods and stuff like that, just like sitting there, not spoiling because you purposely buy them so that they're like good forever. But like it just sits there. Whereas like you want to use your safe room, you want to use your bunker. It's also a D&D room, but if the world just so happens to end. That's where we're going.
Yeah, me and all my friends and my family could play Dungeons and Dragons for the rest of eternity.
Exactly.
What a way to occupy yourself.
It'll be like 10 Cloverfield Lane, except everybody wants to be there. You just play Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that would be my answer to that.
If John Goodman had just played Dungeons and Dragons with those people.
That's actually what he wanted. He just wanted someone to play D&D with. But it's so hard to find a group, Sam. It's in today's modern world. It's so hard to find a group.
In today's post-apocalyptic society, it's so hard to get people to just like commit to a D&D group.
It's hard, man.
It's hard.
It's a big commitment, and not many people want to make that commitment.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, but yeah. If I could like extravaganza. I would love, I mean, like, I'm gonna do it anyways because it's my reward to myself for getting my grants. But I like roller skates. Like, I would go all the way into roller skating and get like all of the things. Cause like the more I look into it, I'm like, holy shit.
You want to do
like,
it?
It's not just the skates and the skates being expensive and the safety gear that's expensive, but it's like you need to get like cleaner for the bearings.
Right.
And then you also need a tool so that you can like clean the bearings themselves. And then you also need like, I'm trying to think what else. You need like all the oils to like make sure all the wheels run properly, and like, you know, suede spray to like protect the material, and the oh my god, like the if you want to build a ramp one day, a lot of people have like little like travel grinder bars that they like build and like practice their things on, and like, you know, all the wheels so that you can go like indoor, outdoor, hybrid, indoor and outdoor, light up wheels, different skates for different reasons. You know, some people have like collections of skates, and I want all of the skates.
Yeah.
Like, I don't just want one pair of skates. I want like I want to choose skates the way I choose shoes.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. I want this pair for this outfit.
Yeah.
Off to the rink.
Yeah, exactly. I want to like, and I want to change the wheels or all the different colors, and you know, I want to make like different looks with the skates, and match them and not match them and all that shit.
Actually, you know what I would do for you, Sam?
Yeah.
Personal roller skate rink.
Hey, that's
in our backyard.
The move.
Yeah,
that's the move.
Like Tony Hawk has his own personal like skate park in his house.
See, that is an extravagance that a rich person would do, but I understand that.
Of course, it makes sense.
It's your literal
Tony fucking Hawk.
Your literal bread and butter.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like it's like a musician building a studio in their home.
I was literally about to say the exact same thing.
And like when you think about it, like of course it seems extravagant to have a home studio, but
it's a money-saving thing.
It's a money-saving thing. Like, you put the money into building a studio, and then you never have to rent studio time ever again.
Ever. If you and your rapper friends or singer friends want to record a song, well, come over. We'll eat breakfast and smoke weed and then record music. Like, exactly. That sounds like a good time. Yeah. Like, I want to invite to that party.
So like a private roller skating park on your property sounds insane, but when you're the most famous skateboarder in the world,
arguably the most prolific skateboarder in the world. Like, you know, arguably for sure.
Well, yeah, because like everybody knows who Tony Hawk is.
Everybody knows who fucking Tony Hawk is.
You don't have to be there. There are famous skateboarders. Mm-hmm. I just don't know who they are.
Yeah, but everybody knows who Tony Hawk is.
Because I'm not into skateboarding. Yeah. But if you're into skateboarding, there's more than Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk, RuPaul of skateboarding. He broke the mainstream when he did the 900.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you know another thing I'd buy with all my money? The end of the podcast.
Oh, well, you don't need money to do that. We can do that right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Where can people find the podcast?
Peace out, bitch. You can find the podcast on Spotify.
Yep.
You can find the podcast on Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
You can find this podcast on YouTube.
Whoa.
Which, if you're looking at my face right now, you already have. Congratulations.
Please like and subscribe. Please.
Good job. Please. You can find us on Podbean if you're into it. You can find us on Google Podcasts if you're into that. You can find, that's it. We're not on Anchor, sorry.
No, we're not. Well, Anchor, you know, I've actually found something out. Small anecdote. You thought the podcast is ending. Wow.
Bonus.
Anchor is owned by Spotify. So if we recorded on Anchor, we could just fucking put it on Spotify.
Cool.
Fun fact, if you record on Anchor, you actually only allowed, it's an exclusivity deal. You can, you have to put it on Spotify, but it's the only thing you can have on Spotify. Or maybe I'm getting that backwards. I don't know. Who cares?
That sucks.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Show Spot Podcast, be sure to leave a like, a review, or a comment on anywhere you can.
I would love that.
Tell us what you would buy with $1 million.
Also, check out all of our other stuff. Come to a stream. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
All of that social links you can find in the description below in the YouTube video. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.